Hi folks, and welcome tonight to OLE-B and Co Card channel for a Monday night. Tonight we've got the wrap up of the weekend's games and what went on with them. Tonight we won't have a card draw. We've been fighting the rain tonight. It is absolutely bucketing down here. So during the breaks I'm going to try and get a gap here to be able to talk to you folks. Charity drive going up, another $10. Let's see, what else can I say tonight? Oh yeah, get on the competition pages, check the pages out on Facebook, OLE-B and Co Card Company there on Facebook, like them pages and get along. Welcome to the subscribers and to the viewers tonight. Thank you for making my page becoming slowly successful with all you viewers. Tonight we're going to have a wrap up, as I said, of the weekend's games. So we'll start off with game one, which was Collingwood over the Port Power, 108-69. 441 possessions to the Pies to 355. I think that pretty much tells the tale, folks. A little bit of keepings off there by the Pies and shows the efficiency of ball use there. And basically Port should have just stayed at home. Unfortunately for Travis Boak and his 250 game and Jaden Van Essen out there, your skills were lacking. Now as we move on to the next game, Melbourne and Hawthorn. Melbourne over the Hawks 79-74, a close one. This one came down to the wire, folks. OLE-B was leaving lumps in his underpants, you know, as the Hawks were kicking, kick for kick there at the end. Fayman, oh my goodness, Fayman, Niall, Cairo, French, the saliva was coming down the chin as Bruce slammed one through the middle right there at the end and put him within striking range. You know, only to be done by the old ticky-tocky clock, you know. Took the old Hawkers down, clipped a feather or two, you know. The Demons, you know, worked it though, you know, well, they wanted it more, 30 more contested possessions, you know, and Big Maxie gone, you know, carved her up again as usual. From he was back forward, he was in the middle, he was tapping ruck, he was everywhere. Poor old Alison Clarkson was running around like a bloody spinning top, his head was going everywhere. As we move on to the next game, old GWS over the top of the Saints, 114-70. Well, it wasn't really a game, was it, folks? You know, come on, Jack times 18. I mean, St Kilda, bring your game. Bring your game to play football. 60 more disposals, GWS. And 50-30 hit-outs. The Ruckmans, you know, you got slaughtered. It's pretty much comes back, you know, to the disposals and the what's name. They really wanted that game more than St Kilda. Pretty much the Saints came back in the second, you know, but they never really looked like a football side. Fat man, you would be rolling in your grave. As we move on to Brisbane over Sydney, 103-81. Dane Zerko and his mob have Jamie just for men. Crawford confident of a premiership. He's that confident, folks. He's booked a cut and colour for September. Whoa, hold up there. You know, you've got to remember Sydney were missing the almighty B. Franklin. You know, they were destroyed in the middle, 64-37 hit-outs. You know, which resulted, you know, pretty much in an interesting 50-50, you know, in the middle, which was quite surprising. So they didn't overly use it well out of the middle. But the funny thing was about it was 37, sorry folks, I got a bit lost there, 37 more times by Sydney, actually, sorry, out of the middle because of that hit out. Yeah, I was thinking of another game there in my head. Sorry about that. The umpires did favour Brisbane though, I will say 27-17, but it was clear that the Lions wanted the ball more with 184 to 142 possessions, contested possessions their way. So well done, Brisbane. You've come out of the guns definitely this year, and old only for men there, Crawford. You'll be licking your lips and licking your chops all the way to September, hoping they get there. The Doggies over the Tigers, 99-52. The battered old Tigers continue to get beaten up with their injury woes, to key players. Poor old Tigers, they've almost running a second side there, but you can't really say much. They just really didn't have the firepower there to match the Doggies' big guns. And it really was a shame, because it's a good chance there for the Tiger young guns and a new blood to cement themselves a position there in the seniors team. So hopefully they can make a name for themselves in the couple of weeks to come whilst them guns are still out. Come on, Tigers, get back to the former glory for like the last couple of years. West Coast over the Suns by 80 to 57. The stats for that game were pretty even across the board, surprisingly, with the score. The Suns commanded the hit-outs, doubling West Coast with 64. But this was the game I was actually meaning that I got a bit confused with on the last one. But they were evening centre clearances. The Suns midfield, I think, have a lot to answer for there, considering the amount of hit-outs that the Suns had and didn't convert to getting it out of the middle. But it was West Coast's ferocious tackling that was the winner chicken dinner on the day, laying 31 more tackles than the Suns. Well done there to the West Coast, obviously wanting that game more, hitting them hard. That's what we like to see. Oh, I haven't actually got a score here for this one here. Oh, that's right. It was the Kangas over the Blues by 120 to 62. Valerie Van Essen, I can understand why you would be blue. Get on the fan phone. Get on to Bolton and inform him that the game starts at 1:10 and not at 3 o'clock. Seriously, you took until the third quarter to actually come and play football. My goodness. Wayne, me hammy Van Essen, would be wetting himself with laughter as the Kangas sailed to victory, nearly doubling the Blues' score. The Kangas' efficiency with the handball was what carved the Blues' bacon. Having 104 more handballs, people, than the Blues. Carlton's #1 supporter, I put it to you, Valerie, are they tanking? Interesting question. They're not really doing much. As we move on to the Cats over the Dons by 86 to 54. Voyager and his Pussycat shot down the demon. Old Damien, Mr. Cricket Maxwell's beloved Bombers. Curry Maxwell had to have another 2 beers, when he seen the piss-poor performance of the second and third quarter by his beloved Dons and their performance in general. Geelong's tenacious tackling and the heir to the throne, one Mr. G. Ablett, tore the Dons to pieces. And I will say though, Mr. Ablett, you have given the OB-CCC an almighty scare. Oh my goodness. We are pooping razor blades here, I'll tell you folks. After an Essendon player attempts to take out Gary's chin with his elbow. My goodness, near on ruining our chances at a Brownlow predictor win for this year. It was a very low act by the Essendon player, unforgivable, and we hope Gary gets over it soon. Our best goes out to you there, Gary. We'll know hopefully by tomorrow whether you're over that or not. Now, as we move on to the Crows over the Dockers, 51 versus 34. A very scrubby, low-scoring game, this one, folks. A game of footy of backwards and forwards, 50-50, goal for goal, until the Crows broke the deadlock and sealed the deal in the Premiership quarter, the third. With a 4-goal-to-1 third term, you know, there was no way they could come back from that. Although the Crows dominated the hit-out, centre clearances were even once again, folks, across the board. The stats showed a fairly balanced game. You know, I think it was just the Crows that wanted it more, and that can be seen in the contested possessions, with the Crows winning that, and surprisingly both teams went inside 50 times in that game. And they both had 8 marks inside of 50. But Freo, unfortunately, just couldn't find the board. And I think really Freo were very lucky in this contest. You know, had Adelaide have had their kicking boot on and not kicked so many points, Freo could have been taking home a hell of a thumping, folks. Now, that's it. That's my wrap for this week's footy. Stay tuned for tomorrow night's episode on Tuesday night of What's Hot. We'll open a couple of packs tomorrow night. Yeah, all in all, folks, a pretty interesting game of football this weekend. A few upsets, a few flaming expected wins, a couple of absolute thumpings there. You know, well, my heart goes out to all them Blue supporters and Richmond supporters. Their woes continue, and well, come on, boys, get up there and get amongst it. You know, we like an even competition, and at the moment, well done, Pussycats. You know, sitting on top of Game Clear. You definitely have one hell of a team, and my goodness, they are a bunch of Jets. It'll be interesting to see whether they'll be able to hold them in the next couple of years. You know, I reckon they'd be bordering on their salary cap there, folks. Anyway, for being Coach Card Channel for Monday night, you've been here with the wrap, and from Uncle Harold here for the night. Hooroo.